Assalamu alaikum and a very good morning to all the people tuned in to watch World This Morning on Pakistan TV. I happen to be Eesha Rehan and I have been joined by the one and only, my charismatic host who happens to be Muzzamil, and we are welcomed and very happy to experience such a warm, bright Wednesday morning. But do not be fooled by the bright, sunny rays of sunshine, because the cold is creeping up on us. Make sure to grab that extra layer, make sure to grab that coffee, make sure to grab that breakfast that you really want to stay warm and healthy. And how are you feeling, Muzzamil?
I am feeling good and I'm feeling great. You mentioned coffee. Don't forget your soups in the evening and warming your water up before you go and wash yourself at the end of that day. Anyway, with this health advice and the advice for the Mausam and the weather, we have some important developments globally right now, and we are bringing you this news filled with information show that is World This Morning, and not quite filling his shoes, but in his place still he's gone on a vacation. I am Muzzamil and Shahzad Khan will be back shortly. Now, with that said, we are going to discuss a few important developments. At the forefront of all of it is Shanghai Cooperation Organization, the Council of Heads of Government meeting in Moscow, Russia. Pakistan is going to be presenting its stance, and with the stance presented by Deputy Prime Minister Ishaq on the international stage that has taken place in Moscow, the summit in Russia. We saw Pakistan presenting its stance on regional cooperation, security and other important issues.
All right, thank you so much for highlighting that, Muzzamil. And next up, we are very eager to share this news with you, and that is that Pakistani fans were not disappointed last night. They had the time of their lives witnessing Pakistan secure a 5-wicket win over Zimbabwe in the first T20 series. Let's get in with the details. Zimbabwe began strong in the last few overs, it had everyone on its toes. Pakistan spinners fought back, and in the chase, Pakistan stumbled early at 30-3 and later 115-5. But Fakhar Zaman's powerful 45 and Usman Khan's climb unbeaten 37 pulled Pakistan back, giving Pakistan the momentum heading into the Sri Lanka game. It's very exciting to see Pakistan doing so wonderfully well and shining in the field of cricket.
And when we talk about cricketing events and other events worldwide, also the news about SCO communication is key. And when we talk about communication, internet is today's tool. But yesterday, the world faced some problems regarding the internet. It was Cloudflare outage. And a technical failure in Cloudflare's infrastructure caused widespread disruptions across major websites and apps. Many services relying on Cloudflare's security, CDN and DNS layers were temporarily inaccessible. Now, DNS translates website names into IP addresses, and you can take it as internet's phone book.
All right, and we were all impacted by this in Pakistan as well. I do recall that my internet was disrupted, and I thought, oh, is it my fault? Is it my service fault? But yeah, it was a global issue. But moving on to our last and very special highlight, it warms my heart to say this. As a person very passionate for the environment, Pakistan has secured its first person who has secured an energy transformation award. He happens to be Sajid, a Pakistani energy transformation expert who is a certified energy manager and auditor at the AEE USA. He was selected for professionalism, and he is the first Pakistani to win the Energy Professional Development Award of 2025 at the AEE World Conference in Atlanta, Georgia. I think it is an honor to receive this award. It speaks about how he has worked for the development of the environment, so we stay safer, cleaner, and more cautiously environmentally cautious and healthy.
Now we are going to go on a short break, after which the show continues here. Stay tuned. This is Pakistan TV. You're watching World This Morning. All right, so welcome back, and here we have our esteemed guests when we want to talk about certain important issues we are going to be addressing today. Dr. AQAB MALIK, geostrategic expert, and Shanghai Cooperation Organization is the target that we want to get at right now. What Pakistan mentioned and the direction that Pakistan is moving in. First of all, sir, thank you for taking your time out, and it's such a pleasure having you here.
Thank you.
All right, so now talking about Shanghai Cooperation Organization, the Council of Heads of Government Summit in Russia, we are looking at Pakistan now taking the front seat in a lot of important issues. And considering this important bloc that represents such a large number when we talk about population, how significant was Pakistan's stance presented by Deputy Prime Minister Ishaq?
I think we had 3 or 4 major issues that we wanted to address, but some of these already have been deliberated upon in the Tianjin summit in China. That was at the end of August, beginning of September, where the heads of governments were there. Mostly the heads of governments are in this particular summit as well, in Moscow, but we are represented by the Deputy Prime Minister there. So it is feasible. Now, a lot of the things that were discussed in the previous summit are now being used in this particular summit to operationalize the decisions that were made. For example, the SCO Development Bank, which is going to be fundamental for the needs of Pakistan, for example, and we've been pushing for this. The idea is to increase the capacity of Pakistan to provide alternatives for itself to Western institutions, for example, and the hold that they have on us, especially our debt relief and other issues that we have. And I think that's very well known. This will provide an opportunity for Pakistan to diversify. And diversification is what we need, rather than to be held in by particular institutions around the world and not have an out. And I think being a key player now in the global and especially regional environment in Asia, we need to look at our future. And that comes to another thing that we've been pushing, for example, the youth hub. Now, the thing about the youth is that that's our future. 60% of our youth is under 30, and the population that is. And if we don't consider the future of Pakistan, which is right now, we're going to fail in this. So we have to consider their needs and how do we tap this big human potential that we have. And this is reflected, by the way, in Western analysts. For example, Moody's, which is a financial institution, has predicted by 2075 that we will be the number 5th economy in the world with in excess of 13 trillion GDP.
Wow.
Only though, if we tap into our future population. And this is where we really need to move. So the suggestion is having an SEO university consortium where our students, our youth can take advantage of the opportunities that are available throughout the different member states and partner states in the SEO and wider region, for example, as we integrate further into Asia and other countries that are willing to be part of this organization. And that links into BRICS as well, which we're not part of in real terms. We're not a member of that, but that is a potential because we have to extract ourselves from the previous hegemony that we're in. And so the changing power dynamics in the world are playing a part in this. And our future in this country is our youth, and we need to appreciate exactly what they're thinking, what they want, what their needs are, what their future aspirations are in the world. If we don't do that, we'll fail. So we need to start thinking right now about 20, 30, 40, 50 years, maybe more, till the end of the century, and how we're going to navigate the global environment, the shocks that we might have in economic terms, which try to mitigate, but also the natural disasters that we're suffering from because of the climate change and the increasing impact, especially in this region. And I'm not going to give you a frightening summary of this, but I am a geographer as well. So 2060 or 2070, we're looking at average temperatures in the summers up to 60 degrees C, where life can't exist for plants and animals in what we do. So we need to think about this right now and make significant noise in the world about changing the dynamics of the way we pollute our atmosphere and our environment, because we are suffering more than any other nation proportionally. In real terms.
Definitely. Climate change should be at the utmost importance of the issues that we address during these summits. And I think you highlighted very wonderfully well how Pakistan's youth is the future, and as the SCO University Network is going to be expanded, especially in AI, IT, and with people-to-people connections, water management, it's very, very great to know this. But it brings me to my next question regarding that. Pakistan is doing wonderfully well at the forefront of strategic diplomacy, and we are preparing to host the next SCO summit in Pakistan. We're very excited for that. How do you think it's going to propel us further to our goals?
I think that would highlight things more than anything. We may have a little ruffle and truffle with our neighbor, but beyond that, because that's a rivalry we're not going to get rid of so quickly unless we make concerted efforts on both sides. However, this has been a center point. We need to put 100% into this, and without any mistakes, primarily because we need our best people at the front in this. And in doing so, we represent ourselves in the world as a forefront now. We won our war recently. Look at our stature. The relationships have changed internationally. We need to keep this going. We can't let up. The point of the matter is we need to keep this ball rolling faster into a snowball effect to gain more momentum, and this is one opportunity that we're going to have, but that means we have to put the effort in. Also means get our house in order, make sure that we know what we're doing, we look towards the future, and look towards the future about where we need to go.
Right.
And that's more important than anything.
Definitely.
Without the direction, without a goal of the future and what we want, we don't understand where we're going. We're just firefighting, dealing with problems here, there, everywhere. We're not moving forward. So we need to have direction and what I call a strategic vision.
Now, talking about strategic vision, Dr. AQAB,
Yes.
How strategically important is this SCO and the one that would be taking place in the future here in Pakistan when we talk about regional alignment, especially Central Asia and Russia?
Now we have friendships all over the world.
Yeah.
And we've got to be cognizant and understanding that we don't want to misalign ourselves in a way that would confront us with what we could say bad tempers on other sides. Yeah? A reaction from allies, also in the West, because we have to be realistic as well. SCO is very strong.
Yes.
BRICS is very strong, if we ever get into that. However, we still live in a world that is dominated by Western institutions, the Bretton Woods institutions, for example, and we have to negotiate our way through these because they do control largely the global economic political system that has evolved since the end of the Second World War. And we're still in that. So that's a reality we exist in. We want the dream, not to negate that, because we're going to be equal partners in all aspects. We want to negotiate with everybody, and we want to be able to have friendships and good relationships with everybody. That's the purpose. We don't want to have animosities with anybody. So we have to be careful in how we negotiate with potential enemies of our other partners.
All right.
It's very important, especially what's going on in Europe with Ukraine, etc.
Definitely.
And having lived there
The
for
part
many
of
years, I
intelligent
understand
diplomacy, right?
exactly,
Part of intelligent
100%.
diplomacy.
This is how we need to negotiate, and we need to keep this momentum going where we're negotiating and we're interacting with institutions from around the world in participation. I've always said we need to be the middle road. We need to be balanced in the way we think and how we behave. And I think at the end of the day, when it really thinks, our course in the future is about bringing everybody together.
Yes.
You see, potential Cold War, and the Cold War has started, the new Cold War has started again, with the war in tariffs and etc. like this and economic issues. However, we need to be able to negotiate that to come out of it. We did that in the 70s with the Tente, with China, and brought it into the modern world in a way. Yeah.
All right.
We can help the world resolve
Maintain peace.
major issues.
Right.
Definitely.
However, we still have to resolve our own issues as well, foremost. So we need to really get a grip on everything. We've got a potentially wonderful future. We need to make the right decisions.
All right.
More than anything.
You've hit the nail on the head. You've spoken perfectly well, brilliantly explained. And speaking about this, Ishaq did meet the Chinese premier and other Chinese officials. He met the president of Russia and other president officials. A lot of things were discussed regarding energy, agriculture, and industry. But a point you stated really stuck with me. It was a massive eye opener, not just for me, but I feel for all the people watching as well. And that is is by 2075, the degree levels are going to be so high where plants are not going to be able to exist, agriculture might not flourish. Do you think just going to these summits and talking about it is actually going to help change things, or are things being implemented to actually bring about the right change?
Now, there's an unfortunate circumstance here with a partner who's refusing to accept what's happening in the global environment, where the rest of the world is completely unanimous with. And in fact, China has drastically changed. I've been going to China many times, and I've seen a massive change in the pollution levels, for example, their green policies, what they're trying to do. I know there's a lot of work still to do. We have a lot of work to do in our country as well. And we need to push for this. It's not just a blame game anymore. It is a global issue. We're all to blame to some extent, but we all have to also work together to produce a better future for everyone in the world. We're looking at potential disasters, and you can see that they're happening. Global climate change is a fact. It is happening, and it is affecting us very negatively every year. And we suffer with many deaths, thousands upon thousands of deaths, floods. There are a lot of issues.
Millions of dollars in losses.
You can imagine at that time in 30, 40, 50 years, what the impact will be such high temperatures. Glacial melt, a massive effect on monsoons.
Yes.
One of the biggest issues is the monsoons here. Yeah? You're not going to have the winds coming down from the north, the colder winds. You're going to have drastic rain. Falls coming from, it's going to be absolutely unpredictable. Nobody can really tell what's going to happen, but it's not going to be something that we can sustain as a population. And that includes where we can partner in with Northern India, could be devastated as well. So we have to look at a common future in this region. With
a
our neighbors as well.
partner who doesn't agree with quite a lot that you have to offer, it's a difficult task.
But what choice have we got? What choice have we got?
As
We're both going to a fire, and we've got to extract ourselves, and we can together. Doing it separately is going to be extremely difficult. We have to partner up in many different ways, and that's one of the things that we build partnerships with in different companies or countries. Sorry, is institution building, and this is one of the biggest things that we need to look at. We look at relationships with countries, but countries can change. But the institutions that they set up around the world, we build those institutions up. We work with those institutions. We build ourselves up as a result, and we benefit from it. And that builds relationships, becomes intrinsic in law, that people can't get beyond. So and that economic interdependence comes in.
As a collective group, we have to make an effort and forget about certain hard points, you know, and move towards a brighter future.
I mean, the success of humanity is what matters.
Absolutely.
The survival of humanity.
I think we can negotiate this, and I think it's on the table, and I think we all want this. It's getting over a lot of our issues in the past and looking forward to a potential future that we have.
Definitely.
That's what it is.
Thank you, sir, for joining us here at Pakistan TV.
Very kind.
It was an amazing time. And I always feel that when we have such amazing guests over, people with this background and knowledge, we need more time. This show should be at least 2 hours.
Right.
Well, I need an hour.
Definitely. We will love to have you again. It was such an honor, such a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you very much. I appreciate
You've spoken
that.
so eloquently regarding each subject that we shoved onto you. And thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Pleasure.
All right.
Now, when we talk about the future and the future of the region and the global future, the point to be discussed is Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman's meeting with the US President Donald Trump. And a part of that meeting was the jet fighter deal that has taken place, and Donald Trump mentioning that he is going to be allowing sales of F-35S fighter jets to Saudi Arabia. Now, these fighter jets are only possessed by Israel when we talk about the Middle East and F-35 fighter jets. And the Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman announced that $1 trillion will be invested in the United States over the next year. 365 days, that is a short time for $1 trillion, marking one of the largest foreign investment pledges in the United States history. And this was the visit of Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman to the United States.
All right, thank you so much for emphasizing on that, Muzzamil. With that, we are going to be heading out towards a short break. Make sure to go grab that cup of coffee that you have been waiting for. We will be reaching back soon. welcome back to all the lovely people who stay tuned to watch World this morning on Pakistan TV. We hope that this break was a refresher for you and you did grab that cup of coffee or that little muffin that you did want to eat. We have some exciting news to share with you. Let's get started with some eager news stories that we have out for you. First things first, a technical glitch involving an Indian LCA Tejas fighter jet at the Dubai Air Show 2025 triggered a wave of memes and online mockery after footage of the incident went viral. You can view it on your screens. The aircraft reportedly suffered an oil leak, with footage showing an Indian Air Force technician placing shopping bags under the jet to catch the dripping fluid. That looks very, very unprofessional. The clip speared rapidly across social media, overshadowing India's efforts to showcase the fighter jet. Memes and jokes flooded platforms like X, Instagram and Facebook, with users humorously describing the jet as standing on shopping bags and dubbing the situation an international embarrassment in HD. Many memes compared the aircraft to leaking taps, budget cars and DIY repair projects, and some users even created a parody videos to complete with laughing effects. I mean, it shows the unprofessionalism.
You know, imagine spending billions of dollars on an aircraft and imagine working hours on end for years and then having this oil drip on an international air show. Imagine that.
Saving it with plastic bags. I mean, who wouldn't want to make memes upon it? But I think
that is meme material, though.
But I think, speaking about true sportsmanship spirit, but we can see Pakistan striving at another level. The Pakistan cricket fans got a very, very astonishing example of what it means to be brilliant in sports. Pakistan stole the show last night with a tense 5-wicket win over with Zimbabwe right here in Rawalpindi. Zimbabwe began strong and in the last few overs had everyone on their toes, but the Pakistani spinners fought back. To discuss what worked in favor of Pakistan, we actually have an exciting guest in our studios today. She happens to be Miss NATALIA BAQER. Thank you so much for being with us today.
You're very welcome. Thank you for having me.
And Natalia, Pakistan, you know, all of a sudden surprises, because we see Pakistan Shaheens perform really good, right? With the aggression that we wanted to see Pakistani team perform. But that wasn't reflected in our international team. Right now, what we saw in this match against Zimbabwe was the same spirit that we saw with Pakistan Shaheen. So, a couple of favorite moments of yours through the match.
Well, starting with your point that we did not see that performance which we were expecting in the international tournaments, that was the reason which we were talking about in the past, was that the team selection was not appropriate. And there were names like Fakhar Zaman, Babar Azam, Mohammad Razwan and other people were not added in that combination. So that combination was quite tricky, and it was some days it used to work and some days it not used to work. So when it comes to tournaments like these, I think they're a new chance for the team to, you know, and you can just test the combinations, you can test the players and their capacity by, you know, just involving them into such tournaments, whether they are the one-day internationals or the T20s. And then coming back to my favorite highlighting moment was when Babar Azam went for a duck.
All right. All right. I mean, I think that was everyone's favorite moment. But speaking about the match, Zimbabwe started out really, really strong until Pakistan brought out its spinners. Please elaborate on that. Elaborate on what our spinners did, right?
They had a great start, and I was expecting a bigger number of, you know, 146. I was expecting something around 160, 165, because they had a really great start. And, you know, 70, until 74, there was no wicket gone. So what happened was basically that the start was really nice, the power play was good, openers were really nice, they were stable, but once the wickets started to, you know, fall, they were like in quick succession. So what exactly happened was the same thing which happens with Pakistani team. And once the wicket starts, you know, falling, they start falling and they keep on falling until the team is gone.
Definitely.
Well, between batting and bowling on the Zimbabwe side, which do you think was the better performance? Was the Zimbabwe batting?
I think the
Zimbabwe batting was better.
But you can't say that better. You can say that it needs improvement.
Compared to their own bowling.
Compared to their bowling, it was much better. I think the team still needs to, you know, understand the pitch conditions. They should, and they are. I guess there's a need of them to adapt to the pitch conditions. They're
And
still
like
not
Eesha mentioned, until the spinners came out on the Pakistani side.
Pakistani side did a great job, you know, with bowling. Pakistani side has a very stable bowling line. And whatever is happening nowadays, you know, all the wins, all the T20s, all the one-day internationals, all the good scores, that is because of the bowling.
Do we need to work on our pace?
We need to work on our batting.
We need to work on our batting. Do you like to bat or bowl?
I think ball is much better. At least it's going to get something out of it. Batting wouldn't work anyway.
I think Muzzamil has asked me the same question, and I can say this on live TV that I am a horrible batter. For all the people who have played cricket with me have witnessed this. But speaking about cricket once again, about the Pakistani team, Mohammad Nawaz finished beautifully with style, you know, with back-to-back boundaries, giving Pakistan the confidence that it needs to face Sri Lanka soon. And what do you think is going to happen in the Sri Lanka clash?
I think Pakistan would do amazing. Pakistan had been doing amazing in all of these tournaments which are happening. The smaller ones, when the pressure is less, Pakistan team performs really well. And I think that these are the tournaments where Pakistan can actually improve. The team can actually improve their performance. Coming back to Mohammad Nawaz, he was phenomenal. He was really nice. He did a great job. All the overs were really, you know, the tight overs. He did not give much runs. And the wickets were amazing. What I want to point out a little bit is the performance of Fahim Ashraf. From a long time, I have not seen anything, you know, extraordinary happening because I have not heard of any phenomenal thing he has been doing. Maybe it's just a little time he's taking to, you know, perform much better by, you know, practicing in these tournaments. But I think Fahim Ashraf needs a little bit of improvement.
We love to have a positive outlook. The views that you present are just very, very exciting. And speaking about this, you know, Natalia, you have seen the match up close, you viewed it, you have an analysis prepared. Who would you deem in your mind as the man of the match?
I can't say it. Like,
controversial, right there.
You know, we have like phenomenal players. You know, let's start with Babar Azam. What if he hasn't scored anything in yesterday's match? What?
I think Babar Azam has delivered a deep blow to Pakistanis who are emotionally in love with cricket, because Babar Azam is the high and the low, both the points on an ECG scale when it comes to our hearts. When the guy performs, we're all in love, bowling our eyes out, khushi ke aansu, and all of a sudden going out for duck. You know, that's the suspense and the oscillation that he brings to the game. Now, one last question before I let you go here. The turning points in the match between Pakistan and Zimbabwe tell a telling tale of our players. Do you think we should have intensive camps that focus strictly on the fitness level of our players for a good season?
I think yes. I think that's really important. I think that will give more room for our players to improve. And fitness-wise and physical fitness-wise, we really do need to, you know, meet international standards. And our players do lack in physical fitness. So these camps and also that local tournaments are going to work for them as well. They give, you know, give a chance for team to get better, for the players to get better. You know, when you play internationally, you have pressure. You have, you know, you have eyes on you. So when it comes to the local matches, the local tournaments, the local camps, they give you a room for improvement.
All right. So I have a bat and a ball in the trunk of my car right now. I'm going to put your words to test. Stay back after the show. You are going to bowl an over and I am going to bat. You be the umpire in that.
All right.
And we are going on a short break. Catch you right after. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to all the lovely people who stayed tuned. And for this important segment, we are going to be highlighting a major issue that impacted not just lives globally, but also here in Pakistan. What actually happened on Tuesday was that a major portion of the global internet was disrupted because of an issue that Cloudflare faced, one of the world's biggest internet infrastructure companies, which suffered an internal technical failure. In Pakistan, the outage report started around 4:10 p.m. with thousands of users unable to use apps, access websites. The Pakistan Telecommunication Authority monitored the situation and confirmed that it was a global issue. And today we are going to be understanding how a company like Cloudflare could experience such a technical error and a glitch that caused a massive failure worldwide. To discuss this issue in depth, we actually have Dr. MEHDI HASSAN, Chairman of Computer Science Department at Air University. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you very much for inviting me to this show, and good morning,
All right.
Pakistan.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Mehdi. It's an honor to have you on the show here today. Please explain to us that thousands of people across the globe and in Pakistan faced was essentially an internet failure with ChatGPT going down, different websites going down. What exactly caused this in simple terms?
Yeah, first of all, we need to understand the Cloudflare and its working mechanism. Cloudflare actually is a content delivery network company. So it is a US-based company which is providing the fast and quick services and access to the websites. So it is also providing the security as well, such as DDoS and web security, so DNS. So these securities are being provided by the Cloudflare as well. So as you mentioned earlier, yesterday on November 18, 2025, there was a breakdown globally to the Cloudflare services. So it affects Pakistani users as well. As you mentioned that the ChatGPT, the X, formerly known as Twitter, and other tech companies also affected by this Cloudflare breakdown.
All right, all right. You've explained that brilliantly well. And one thing that I was very curious about is DNS. What exactly is DNS? It is known as the address book of the internet, but help us explain what happens when it goes down and why is it so essential?
Now, before you mention this, add to that question. If it's the phone book, in plain and simple terms, of the internet, how can Pakistan work and produce institutions or establish institutions that come up with robust products of the future when we talk about the DNS?
Yeah, this is actually a very great question. The DNS is the domain name system. So actually, it is the system that will identify the web addresses. In fact, so these web addresses are passed through the Cloudflare, and Cloudflare then secure these services and provide a robust access to the website. So actually, as mentioned earlier, it was a global problem. So Pakistan need to think about it that we are dependent. Actually, the world is dependent on maybe the 2 to 3 or 4 companies. So Cloudflare has a large market share as well. So it is approximately 20 to 30% of the global market is captured by this Cloudflare. So the Pakistan need to think that either we depend on such global companies, or we need to go some indigenization of these the replication of these companies, just like Cloudflare. So being a part of computer science society and tech companies, so we have the capability. Pakistan has capability, and Pakistani people and Pakistani scientists can develop such system. So we need ice breaking as well from the government side as well. So if government may intervene in this, and we need and asked to develop such systems, so we are capable enough. We can develop such systems as well.
All right, and Dr. Mehdi, thank you so much for explaining that in great depth. It was very wonderful. But one thing that really concerns me, and not just me, I think everyone across the globe as well, is that only a handful of companies are giving this widespread internet access to the globe, right? So first things first, it's Cloudflare, then it's Amazon Web Services and Microsoft Azure. And speaking about Amazon Web Services, I remember just last month, me and my co-host did a show on how the Amazon Web Services had a breakdown, a failure, which caused internet disruptions across the globe. And now this month, it is Cloudflare facing the same issues. What does this say about digital reliance, especially for Pakistan's side, upon such companies which can go down anytime?
Yeah, actually, this, as you mentioned, that Amazon Web Services and then now the Cloudflare. So these breakdown, when these breakdown occur, so it affects globally as well as Pakistan. Actually, as a Pakistani, we need to think that either we will be depending upon such single systems or a single market player, or we need to develop some indigenized product. So I would recommend that we must go with the indigenization, because every control and every you see the code and the architecture of the system will be in our hands. So we can play better even and provide the services to other companies. So to other countries as well.
All right. And it is such a big hassle when major services like these get disrupted. They impact businesses, students, and I mean people like us as well. And speaking about this, can you please emphasize on what can people do to actually counteract this, right? So for example, if there's a business or if there's a school, if there's students, what can we do on a larger scale to actually combat this or maybe not go through this issue?
Okay, actually, this problem can be resolved in 2 to 3 ways. The first one is that the companies, the big companies and the government companies, the government organization must have a you see the rerouting system. So if one system is not responding, so at the second tier it will shift toward the other system, to the second system. So and the second thing is that when the access to the media and when access to the information is restricted due to the tech failure, so at that time, I think the students and the people of Pakistan may not panic. So the big companies will immediately intervene, and then they immediately solve and identify the problem and solve that problem and provide the services to the people in.
Right. Thank you, Dr. Mehdi Hassan, for the insight into this important matter when it comes to communication and communication globally, about how internet works and what are the future steps that should be taken to mitigate such issues. And communication brings together nations, and COP30 held in Brazil this year was an important event when we talk about climate change and climate change related issues. Now, news from Brazil is that hosts of COP30 in Belém, Brazil, they've released the first draft of the agreement after late-night negotiations presenting wide-ranging options on the summit's most contentious issues. These contentious issues involve fossil fuel transition and the climate change, also with the trade measures. Now, the document is 9-page global material text, and it reflects deep divisions among the nearly 200 nations, including a split between countries backing a roadmap for fossil fuel phase-out and oil-producing states. Now, oil-producing industry is one of the biggest, most lucrative industries globally when we talk about businesses. And this COP30 is an event that brings together about 200 nations, and within these 200 nations there is a division when we talk about fossil fuels and oil. Did you know that fossil fuel and oils and the green energy, there is actually a business war between these two sectors? Now, the giants in pushing the global industry forward. Now, when we talk about climate change, climate vulnerability and glaciers were at the forefront of COP30, also climate finance demands and carbon markets.
Definitely. And speaking about environmentally friendly things, we actually have a upcoming segment which is very, very exciting regarding this. Speaking about our guest, I cannot stop fangirling reading about his profile, especially as someone who is very passionate about the environment myself. Sajid Mahmood is a Pakistani energy transformation expert. He is a certified energy manager at AEE USA. He has made history by becoming the first Pakistani ever to win the Energy Outstanding Global Contribution to Clean Energy and Sustainability Award at the AEE World Conference in Georgia. He was selected from professionals representing 48 different countries across the Asia subcontinent region. He has worked with over 100 decarbonization and energy efficiency projects, and it really, really warms my heart to welcome him on this show. I'm definitely fangirling. Thank you so much for joining us today. We have been joined by the man of the hour. Good morning.
Good morning to you guys.
Right. Now, sir, your work is like my co-host has been fangirling over your work, because environment is something that we share as a collective group, us humans. And the work that you've put out, first of all, congratulations on your international win. And what project or contribution do you think stood out the most to the award committee?
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for acknowledging this achievement on national TV. It's a really honor for me. And I'm really grateful, very happy to receive the Energy Professional Development Award for the year of 2025 from Association of Energy Engineers USA. So I would like to inform you guys that what is the basically Association of Energy Engineers in USA. It is a governing body which is basically giving the licenses to the international energy experts. So I have been working with the AE USA since 2016, and I have also achieved the Energy Innovator Award in 2022, and this year I received the award of Energy Professional Development Award for the 2025, but in subcontinent region. So it means a lot recognized in the Asia subcontinent category. For me, it's a real.
All right, I think there is a little bit of technical difficulties, but what I'm very eager to know from Sajid is about, he has held a lot of different experiments and projects regarding decarbonization. What experiment kind of stood out the most, and how can we actually implement these in our lives here in Pakistan, right? So
when we talk about small and medium enterprises, that is one sector that requires a lot of push, and manufacturing costs go significantly higher. A lot of expensive products right at the manufacturing stage, which takes away profits from the end product and harms businesses in a very negative manner. I think that when we talk about energy and when we talk about the green input and free energy or cheap energy, that is not only going to help the environment but also businesses and small and medium enterprises.
Definitely, definitely. And Muzzamil, you've highlighted that, you've hit the nail on the head, right? Highlighted it very brilliantly. And Sajid's story actually helps the young generation watching, right? We have a lot of potential in young engineers, young scientists, young biodiversity groups who want to do good for the world and give back to Pakistan, right? So,
as Dr. AQAB said, more than 60% under the age of 30. Well, I am the remaining 40%, and you've got the 60% sitting to my left here.
I wish.
Because you know, the important thing is, if you don't facilitate your own future, that is the youth and the businesses that the youth would be stepping into, you are actually effectively blocking yourself from achieving the success that you can and creating an easier life.
All right, and all right, let's go back to Sajid. Sajid, are you here with us again?
I'm very sorry for the interruption.
It's absolutely all right. We were just so eager to talk to you, and what we're really curious to know about is that you've worked on more than 100 decarbonization and energy efficiency projects. Which project was your favorite, and which one do you think is the most efficient?
Actually, I'm working almost, you can say, more than 2 decades. I have been involved in the energy audits, carbon mitigation projects, capacity building of the different energy managers across many sectors. But the most important nowadays, the project is working, nowadays we are working on the carbon credits. So we are working for different forestation schemes and the reduction of the emissions of the different factories. So nowadays, most focus of the industries, and we are focusing on the reduction of the carbon emissions.
All right, all right. You've highlighted that brilliantly, Sajid, and it is such a great motivation to have you as a figure that young students, that young people are going to look up to. And that brings me to my next question: is that, do you have any message for all the young engineers, young biodiversity enthusiasts who want to pursue the same field of clean energy that you have pursued?
Yeah, of course. Nowadays, I would definitely recommend it to youngsters. So that this is nowadays a turning point for the Pakistan energy industry. So there's a lot of awareness, technology, and policy momentum is going on. So more of the industries are going to adopting the energy efficiency measures. They are adopting the renewable energy, and they are following the international standards like ESG, like the carbon reporting. So it's a good time for the young engineers to penetrate in this market. And this market is very versatile market, and I believe with the besides the artificial intelligence, the energy is a sector which is growing day by day, and especially the sector for the data centers. So data center is basically very crucial for the artificial intelligence running on the back. So if the young engineers go moving towards the ESG, carbon reporting, and especially the working on the reduction of the heat and water in the artificial intelligence data centers. So I believe there's a great potential for the young engineers, and they should go for the different type of the certifications like I did: certified energy auditor, certified energy manager, certified carbon credit manager. So there's a lot of things that young people can move forward on.
Definitely. Sajid, thank you so much for being here. And once again, from us to you, a very hearty congratulations and a very deep thank you to you for rising Pakistan's name on a global stage in a very positive manner. We need people like you. We need the youth to be like you. Thank you for being a leading figure and an innovative figure. It was wonderful to have you on the show, and it was very motivating to witness someone achieve so much in the name of environment for the global success of humanity. And I think this is a positive reminder and message for all the people out there. Do not only work for yourselves, work for the survival of humanity, work to give smiles, work to give back to the community. And with that note, we are going to be ending this morning show. Thank you so much for joining us, and catch us live tomorrow at 10 a.m. We will be waiting for you. Bye-bye.
Bye.